Alright guys, if you're farming Zora, you're gonna be so freaking happy. One of the legends in our Discord, Bleaky, has found an incredible site called Boost.xyz that literally pays you to mint NFTs on Zora. Actually crazy. We also have news regarding Hyperlane, some fresh, exciting new strategies, as well as general views and overview of the crypto and airdrop space. So let's get started. First, let's take a quick look at this post from CC2 from a couple of weeks ago, actually, that is incredibly relevant even today. He talks a little bit about the state of ZkSync now that the airdrop has happened. It was a little bit underwhelming. However, the ecosystem airdrops are still ongoing. So even though the network itself will not have any more rewards in regard of token, there are actually a lot of ecosystems that are still going to be providing opportunities. Currently, the Zoomi and PancakeSwap, the ecosystem rewards were incredibly bad, let's be real, but maybe there will be more of the proper ones in the future. For example, he made a reference to Sei. Sei has made another airdrop for its stakers and liquid stakers just a couple of days ago as of today, so maybe ZkSync follows suit. In other news, we have some news regarding the layer 2s. If you're still bullish on Ethereum layer 2s, then the best ones you can farm currently are Scroll and Linea. Now, we've covered a lot of these strategies already before. Literally, in our last video, we gave you a great 4-in-1 strategy with Eigenlayer, EtherFi, Mitosis, and Scroll marks. So you can check that out. And then there's Linea, but Linea is more farmed than Scroll at the moment. So we will see. Then Eigenlayer copycats, we already talked about these. Symbiotic, Karak, Swell, Zircuit. These are all relatively promising ones, but for the most part, guys, these liquidity-based airdrops are kind of a whale game. So what we want to do is we want to focus on transaction-based, so-called button-pressing airdrops. And here we have a couple clear favorites. Obviously, Hyperlane takes the #1 spot because we're all hoping that it's going to replicate Wormhole results. And Wormhole was one of the best airdrops if you manage to sell in time, if you have not waited for the token to dump like 80%. Currently, it's trading about 30 cents, which is horrendous. But in other words, you also have Tensor. Tensor Season 2, Season 3, I don't know which season still going to happen. Might be worth farming. You have Liquid Swap and Ethena Labs on Aptos. Ethena Labs is basically orderly on Aptos. So Aptos is an incredibly good ecosystem to farm because 50% of the token is still reserved for future airdrops. Then you have Jumper. Jumper is actually just launching the Superfast, which is basically a collaboration with Optimism, and they're actually giving a lot of experience for participating in these activities. And you're also getting some OP token rewards because 1.5 million Optimism tokens is reserved for these activities. Then he also references Bungee Socket. So these guys have been developing like crazy over the last few years, and they have a lot of infrastructure plays. The biggest and the best one is their interoperability solution, Bungee.exchange. It has a very decent amount. Oh my god, they added new chains. They have a lot of chains, a lot of new chains to simply bridge and refuel cross-chain. And then there's also some others like Zora. This is the big one. This is the one we're going to talk about today for the most part. And then the most important thing to understand regarding this are disclaimers. Zora might never have a token. It's all just speculation. Hyperlane could also go the fee route because Wormhole was a real unicorn. But for example, Layer 0 took the fee route. How much you spent, how much you received. So yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty in the airdrop space. A lot of people are quitting the space, but it just means that there is a lot more money for us who actually stay and deliver. But here's the key thing. This is the most important line in the whole text. There will always be lucrative airdrops, but you need to be exceptionally driven and hungry to discover the niche, lesser known ones nowadays. This is incredibly important. You cannot just farm ZkSync Layer 0 and kind of airdrops, which are farmed by millions of wallets, and expect to get a couple thousand per wallet. It's just not realistic. So this is why we focus so much on the niche under the radar opportunities. This is why we have created our Discord. This is why we have a huge community of serious crypto DeFi degens who are incredibly good at what we do, who are already successful for a year and a half. And if this is something that interests you, if you want to learn from the, well, I don't want to say the best, but from the experienced people, then make sure to check out our subscriptions. We have made a lot of money in the last year and a half, and it's been going strong. And we also have an airdrop tracking application that helps you keep organized. It helps you keep track of all the active airdrops and maybe even wallets if you're multi-walleting. So make sure to check this on our website right here. As always, links to everything are always in the first link of the description of this video. Now, regarding Zora token, somebody might even say that Zora already has a token. It's called Enjoy. But personally, I believe that this is a testing grounds for the real Zora token that's going to come in the future. For those of you who don't know, Enjoy is basically a way to tip creators on Zora. So if you're minting NFTs on Zora, you can participate in this part right here. Unfortunately, it is not yet integrated with the Boost platform itself, but hopefully the integration comes soon. Now, regarding the Hyperlane transactions, what he mentions here is the most important thing. Most people who are farming Hyperlane, they're just doing stuff on Minter. So they're just sending tokens and usually small amounts of tokens from one EVM chain to another. If you really want to differentiate yourself, you should really be bridging from EVM to Cosmos. This is what we've been talking forever, and the best way to use it is the first Hyperlane powered bridge, and this is Hyperlane's Use Nexus bridge. You can send funds from Arbitrum to EVM chains. We've talked about this many times. It is a little bit costly, but currently it just costs about $1, $1.50 to send funds there, and then about $2 to send back from Cosmos to Arbitrum. Also, another thing that you need to understand is that Arbitrum's TIA, so you're going to need TIA-N, which is basically Celestia token on Arbitrum network. And this one, usually when you're swapping, for example, on Jumper, then when you're swapping, then the slippage really, really hurts. Sometimes the difference between what Celestia is worth on Cosmos and what Celestia is worth on Arbitrum is like 10, 15 cents. It might not seem like a lot, but trust me, on bigger amounts, you really, really tell the difference. So another thing that you should probably consider doing is LPing into ETH TIA pairs on Trader Joe and PancakeSwap, because the Hyperlane team has tweeted many times that this might actually be very important for potential Hyperlane airdrop in the future. There's other strategies in the list right here where we talked about this many times before. So make sure to check out this entire post if you want the details. But moving on, the last Hyperlane strategy that we want to talk about today is from Toby. He's a bit of an upcoming star. This is a new route using ZeroA.io. And this is kind of like Merkley, because you can send the NFTs from different chains to different chains. Just please be careful with this one. Don't just spam transactions, because it's kind of considered a Sybil behavior if you do like 100 worthless NFT transfers. However, refueling, if you actually use refuel organically, you need gas on a certain blockchain. Refueling is definitely a nice way to get organic, different Hyperlane transactions. Now, incredibly time-sensitive information regarding NFTs and Hyperlane. We have something called Forma Chain, and if you've been farming Hyperlane for a while, you already know that this is a new interesting route. This one, you basically bridge your funds from Celestia to Forma, which is a great way to use Hyperlane, EVM, and Cosmos interactions. But most importantly, when you're actually minting these NFTs, which is branded as Zora of Celestia, these NFT floors are going to the moon and back. Like this 555 collection was worth 5 TIA on mint price, and at one point it was 75 TIA. The first one, this Glover interface, it was 0.5, and it was valued at 1.5. And anyone who's into NFTs, we all know that the NFT mints are usually, most of the time, the floor tanks under the mint price. So to actually have an organic Hyperlane transaction minting an NFT that actually increases in value over time, it is an incredible opportunity. And on July 11th, there's going to be another such opportunity for people who have already minted on Modularium. You have 24 hours for the whitelist mint if you're a holder of Celestine slots, after what the hell this is. And most importantly, Modularium, if you've been minting on Modularium before, then you can actually mint this habitat, which is going to have only 15,000 collection. So it's probably going to do multiples again. Again, not financial advice, and do your own research, but the steps you need to do is going to bridge.forma.art, connect your EVM, connect your Cosmos wallet and your EVM wallets, and then simply bridge Celestia from the Celestia network to Forma Chain, which is an EVM wallet. So you're going to MetaMask, Rabbi, or Rainbow. Now, the biggest news regarding Boost. So this platform is insane. They list NFTs, so creators who are listing on Zora, they can list on Boost, and they basically fund you to mint their NFTs. So why you might be wondering, okay, but why would anyone pay for you to mint their NFTs? let's take a quick look in February this year when airdrop number 4 happened for Optimism, and this was for superchain creators. Of course, Zora is included because Zora is built using OP stack, and people received thousands of OP tokens, which was worth a couple $1,000s for simply having their NFTs being minted on Zora chain. So a lot of speculators, a lot of people are betting that there's going to be more like this in the future. Maybe Zora has a token as well sometime in the future. So this is the reason why the platform actually works. You simply go here, and one very important thing to note is if there's maybe 1 or 2 rewards left, then it's a little bit risky, because if multiple people are farming this at the same time, then you might actually not get the reward, because there's a limited amount of rewards. So usually what I like to do is I want to make sure that there's at least maybe couple or like 10s or 20 rewards available. So it's super straightforward. It's 2 clicks and you're done. Like, you get the refund. Here you can see, okay, I'm sending the reward transaction, I'm claiming it, and I received the funds in my wallet straight up. So you mint Zora, you mint Boost, because Boost is probably going to have an airdrop as well. They have a point system, reward system, and you are also just getting money back from the Zora mint. Absolutely love it. And here you can see in transactions that the money is received on Arbitrum. So in this case, I received 2.12 USDC on Arbitrum network. And here you can see in the transactions that I have sent the fee for Zora, and then I received back the funds. So yeah, absolutely love it. Now, of course, if you don't have any funds on Zora network, you need to bridge to Zora, and you have some options. First, you have All2 Finance and Orbiter. These are a little more pricey. You're going to pay about $3 to $4 to use the network, and maybe a little bit less on All2, but definitely the best bridge to send your funds from Arbitrum or many different chains into Zora is this relay.link, and you're only going to pay like a couple cents to send funds from Arbitrum to Zora. Now, they also have a promotion going on with Rainbow Wallet, and if you can stomach using Rainbow over Rabbi or MetaMask, then you should probably use it, because Rainbow has the best connections and partnerships with Zora itself. So if you can use Rainbow Wallet for all of these NFT mints and NFT activity on Zora, I would highly recommend that you actually do that. Lastly, we have some news from Squid Router. If you've been using this one, this is also another great bridge from Cosmos to EVM chains and back. They currently have until July 31st the Squid Scholar for $1 NFT mint, and you can do this on Polygon, but it is highly recommended that you use some other chain. So you can, for example, pay for this NFT mint on Arbitrum, Optimism, or many other chains, and then you get a 2-in-1 transaction using Squid Router, and potentially some soulbound NFT that is non-transferable, might have some valuable future value. Finally, there's been some news regarding Frame. So if you remember, if you've been trading NFTs on Ethereum for the last 2 years, since 2022 to 2024, there was some mention of a Frame airdrop. This has been cancelled now that Igloo has acquired them, and we have had some information that there will be a certain kind of honor system or some kind of rewards for people who have actually claimed Frame and were eligible for Frame. So we will see what happens with this. Not holding my breath, but any money is great money. And that's all regarding news in the airdrop world today. If you like the content, like and subscribe with bell notifications on, considering how time sensitive our information is. If you're serious about crypto, we're waiting for you in our Discord. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, have an amazing day.